she's completely flirtatious with him.
A man being fully castrated by a woman who is using toxic feminism to get what she wants, right?
Blake Lively's fairy tale marriage? Yeah, it was all a lie.
Blake Lively completely exposes herself.
For years, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have been Hollywood's ultimate power couple. The adoring wife, the funny husband, the picture-perfect family. But now, that entire image is crumbling. Because after months of speculation, the truth is finally out. Blake Lively allegedly cheated on Ryan. And not only that, she got rejected. Insiders are saying Blake had her eyes on Justin Baldoni while working on their film together. And when he didn't play along, that's when everything took a dark turn.
She really wanted her vision to be included in this, okay?
She allegedly tried to push for more intimate scenes, got flirty behind the scenes, and thought Baldoni would fall for her charm. But he shut it down immediately. And Blake? She wasn't used to hearing no. That's when things took a turn for the worse.
When Ms. Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you."
Blake isn't the type to let things go. And after Baldoni made it clear he wasn't interested, insiders claim she flipped the script and turned him into the villain. She allegedly started telling people that he made her uncomfortable, that he was the one behaving inappropriately. Suddenly, Hollywood was whispering about Baldoni in all the wrong ways. And if that wasn't bad enough, Blake took it a step further. According to reports, she manipulated the Me Too movement to make Baldoni look like the aggressor. And just like that, his career was on the line. Blake's team planted stories, the media started pushing the narrative, and Baldoni was on the verge of being completely blacklisted. All because he rejected her, but what Blake didn't expect, Baldoni wasn't. Going down without a fight.
She, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context, is an absolute nothing burger. She accused his producing partner of showing her pornography.
For months, Blake kept up the act. She played the victim, acted heartbroken, and painted Baldoni as the problem. But then, a leaked voicemail surfaced, one that changed everything. At first, it seemed like the final nail in Baldoni's coffin. The recording allegedly had Ryan Reynolds trashing Baldoni, calling him dangerous, and saying he needed to be dealt with. The media jumped on it. Headlines ran with the story. Baldoni was getting dragged all over the internet. But then, experts analyzed the voicemail and realized it was fake. It was AI-generated or heavily manipulated, meaning someone, maybe even Blake's team, faked it to destroy Baldoni. And the second people realized that, Blake's entire story started to fall apart.
And no amount of I'm sorry's will ever undo it. Hurt people hurt people.
At first, Ryan was completely on Blake's side. He defended her, distanced himself from Baldoni, and played the role of the protective husband. But after the leaked voicemail was exposed as fake, that's when everything changed. Ryan is now realizing he may have been manipulated too. Insiders say he's furious that he got dragged into this mess, especially now that his own reputation is taking a hit. Because, let's not forget, Ryan is one of Hollywood's biggest brands. His image is built on being likable, trustworthy, and scandal-free. And now, that's in danger. The leaked audio wasn't just bad for Baldoni, it was bad for Ryan. And if it turns out Blake really orchestrated the whole thing, Ryan is going to have to make a choice.
And here is part of that leaked audio as of yesterday. Take a listen to Justin Baldoni groveling, this is one way to describe it, to Blake Lively.
I want to start with an apology. Reading the second part of your message, my heart sank.
Blake always made sure her image was spotless. No scandals, no drama, just a perfect A-list career. But now, that's officially over. Hollywood isn't backing her the way it used to. The media, which once protected her, is now turning on her. And insiders are saying that directors, producers, and brand executives are all watching closely. Some of her biggest deals are now under review. Major brands haven't dropped her yet, but they're waiting. And in Hollywood, once you lose your value, it's over. And if Ryan decides to walk away, Blake's career might never recover.
I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect.
If you think Ryan is just sitting back, watching this all unfold calmly, think again. He's in full-blown panic mode. At first, he thought he was doing the right thing, standing by Blake, defending her, making jokes about the situation to downplay the drama. But after the leaked voicemail turned out to be fake, everything changed. Now, Ryan isn't just dealing with Blake's mess, his own career is at risk too. And for someone like Ryan, that's a nightmare. His entire brand is built on being the funny, likable, scandal-free guy. Studios trust him, brands love him, and fans see him as the charming A-lister who never gets involved in Hollywood drama. But now, that reputation is starting to crack. Some of Ryan's biggest brand deals are being reviewed behind the scenes. Studios are quietly questioning whether he's still a safe bet for future projects. And the biggest issue, Marvel is reportedly getting nervous about his involvement in Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
Blake Lively has spent years carefully curating her perfect image. She was always the industry darling, the A-lister who could do no wrong. But now, that image is completely falling apart. Hollywood isn't defending her. The media, which used to protect her at all costs, is suddenly going quiet. And the biggest red flag? Her name is starting to disappear from major projects. Producers and executives don't want to deal with the drama. They see the headlines, the backlash, the leaked details, and they're realizing that Blake Lively is no longer a safe investment. One Hollywood insider even admitted, "No one wants to touch a scandal this messy. Blake is too big of a risk right now." And when Hollywood stops seeing you as profitable, that's when your career starts to vanish.
He's worked really hard to get to this point where he just listens to women. He has not yet perceived that a woman might do something evil. He has not yet learned the lesson that nice guys can sometimes finish last, right? And when I say finish last, I mean suddenly have an entire movie yanked out of their hands.
Ryan has spent years building up Deadpool as his signature role. It's one of Marvel's most important franchises, and Disney has been banking on him to carry the next wave of superhero films. But now, there are whispers that Marvel executives aren't happy about this scandal. The last thing Disney wants is for their biggest upcoming movie to be overshadowed by a messy celebrity lawsuit and fake evidence accusations. They need Deadpool and Wolverine to be a massive success. And if Ryan's name keeps getting dragged through the mud, they might have to rethink things. Right now, Marvel isn't making any public moves. But behind the scenes, executives are reportedly keeping a very close eye on how this unfolds. And if Ryan doesn't get ahead of this scandal, Marvel might decide they need to distance themselves. That's why some insiders believe Ryan is already working on an exit plan.
Where Blake Lively completely exposes herself and just says it out loud with no qualms. This is what I do. The whole thing Justin's put out in his documents, she just admitted.
Hollywood insiders are saying Ryan is quietly making moves behind the scenes. He hasn't publicly addressed the scandal in weeks. He's avoiding direct interviews where he could be asked about Blake, and he's reportedly been taking meetings about solo projects. This is a classic Hollywood move. When a scandal gets too messy, the smartest play is to slowly create distance. Ryan knows that if he stays too close to Blake for too long, the public will start associating him with her downfall, and that could be career-ending. At the end of the day, Ryan isn't just an actor, he's a businessman. He has billion-dollar investments, ownership in major companies, and brand deals that rely on his clean image. So, if Marvel, Disney, or his biggest corporate sponsors start pressuring him to walk away from Blake, you already know he's going to listen.
Those kids that have I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience with me.
While Ryan is planning his escape, Blake is running out of options. Hollywood isn't taking her calls. Brands aren't rushing to defend her. And some of her biggest industry allies, nowhere to be found. The moment an A-lister becomes a liability, the industry starts quietly moving on without them. And right now, that's exactly what's happening to Blake. Projects she was attached to are now on hold or reconsidered. Fashion brands she worked with are suddenly silent. Producers who used to sing her praises aren't mentioning her anymore. One insider even admitted, "It's not official yet, but people are already looking for her replacement." And that might be the final proof that Blake's reign in Hollywood is coming to an end.
Sorry, you admit to lying, which is clearly what he, as you watch the text, she's always asking permission. She's guilt-tripping Justin. "Oh, directors don't let me," and blah, 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 blah. And then he's always like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
So here's the real question. If Ryan knows his career is on the line, if Marvel is watching closely, if brands are getting nervous, and if Hollywood is already replacing Blake, how much longer until he officially walks away? Because history has shown us one thing. When Hollywood men are faced with choosing between their career and their relationship, they almost always choose their career. Right now, Ryan is playing it safe. He's waiting to see how things play out. But if the backlash gets any worse, if the industry starts pressuring him harder, if his business deals start crumbling, Ryan might not have a choice anymore. And when that moment comes, Blake will be completely alone in Hollywood. At this point, Ryan has no choice but to face reality. He stood by Blake through every scandal, defended her, ignored the warnings, but now the damage is too big to ignore. His career, his business empire, and his spot in Hollywood's A-list are all at risk. And the worst part? He didn't even see it coming. Ryan believed Blake when she painted Baldoni as the villain. He believed she was being unfairly attacked. But after the leaked voicemail was exposed as fake, after Hollywood started backing away, and after the industry turned on her, Ryan finally realized he was being used. And now he has to make a choice. Stay with Blake and risk losing everything, or finally cut ties before it's too late.
She, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger. She accused his producing partner of showing her pornography.
While Ryan is figuring out his next move, Blake? She's out of moves. The industry isn't waiting for her to recover. Executives are quietly replacing her in upcoming projects. Fashion brands are shifting focus to newer, scandal-free stars. And Hollywood insiders are saying that directors are hesitant to cast her at all. Blake thought she could spin this scandal in her favor. She thought the industry would stand by her, that her PR team could clean this up. But at this point, nobody is buying it. Her last few public attempts to regain control, the carefully planted headlines, the staged appearances, haven't worked. Instead, they've only made her look more desperate. And once Hollywood senses desperation, it's over.
When Ms. Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you."
Here's the thing, Ryan doesn't make career decisions alone. He has a team of managers, experts, business partners, and advisors who all have one job: protect his brand. And right now, every single one of them is telling him the same thing. You need to get out. According to insiders, Ryan's business partners are worried. They're seeing his brand deals being reviewed. They know Marvel is watching. And they don't want this mess to drag him down any further. And if history has taught us anything about Hollywood, when a scandal gets too big, the people around you will push you to drop the dead weight. At this point, Ryan is running out of reasons to stay. And if Blake can't fix this fast, he's gone.
She really wanted her vision to be included in this, okay?
The biggest sign that Ryan is getting ready to move on, he's been avoiding direct comments about Blake. At the start of the scandal, he was vocal. He defended her, made jokes, acted unbothered. But now, nothing. No statements, no comments, just silence. And in Hollywood, silence speaks volumes. Insiders are saying that Ryan's team is preparing a public clean break strategy. If things get worse, expect a carefully worded statement about how he stands by Blake but needs to focus on his career. It's the classic Hollywood PR move. Distance himself just enough to protect his brand while still looking supportive. But let's be real. If Ryan walks away, he's not coming back.
She's completely flirtatious with him.
A man being fully castrated by a woman who is using toxic feminism to get what she wants, right?
The worst part for Blake? She knows this is happening. She spent years building the perfect Hollywood marriage. She made sure the public saw her and Ryan as the ultimate power couple. But now, that image is shattered. And if Ryan publicly distances himself, that's the final nail in her career's coffin. Because once Hollywood sees that even Ryan doesn't want to be associated with her, nobody else will either.
And no amount of I'm sorry's will ever undo it. Hurt people hurt people.
Blake and Ryan thought they could control this scandal, but now it's controlling them. Blake is desperately trying to hold on, but the industry is done with her. Ryan is running out of options and is being pushed to walk away. And Hollywood, it's already found their replacements, so now the only question is, will Ryan cut ties before it's too late? Because if he doesn't, Hollywood might make the decision for him. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the latest Hollywood drama.